All right. Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. So I hope you guys will not be bored seeing this face again. Okay, for a new chapter. Okay. So today we are going to learn on chapter 7, which is staging. Okay. It is an interesting topic, so I believe you are going to enjoy this topic. Okay. So let's take a look. What you are going to learn today is basically choosing or explain on how we are going to choose the event site. So how we are going to know this event site is suitable for our event or not, and then discuss on developing the team. So there are so many teams that is available in this world, especially our event. So next, how to conduct rehearsal and why this rehearsal is important, and providing services, arranging catering, organizing accommodation, and also managing the environment. Okay, so now let's take a look on the first one, staging the event. So what does it mean? So what is basically staging the event? So it originates from the presentation of plays at the theater. If you are about to see the theater or to watch the theater, you will know. In Malay, we call it as pementasan, which is staging lah, okay, obviously. So pementasan or staging is very important. It is when you are basically, you are fulfilling and utilizing the whole part of the stage, okay. So it is very important that you utilize every single tiny inch of that staging, okay. So it refers to bringing together all the elements of a theatrical production for its presentation on a stage. For example, you need to use staging for product launches, company parties and celebration, awards and ceremonies, concert, large wedding, and also corporate dinner. So we need to have this kind of staging, which is we need something that pop-ups or make our event wow from the beneath. Okay, so it can also refer to the organization of a venue within much larger festival with performance areas. Okay. So what are the major concerns of staging? So basically, this kind of staging, it involves theme and event design. It involves of programming, which is the program that is involved in your event. Okay. So the choice of venue. So the venue is basically accessible or not. So the venue, it has lots of facilities or not. Okay. So number 4, audience and guests. So what kind of audience and what are the things that our audience and guests needed? Okay, and then number 5, stage power, lights and sound. Number 6, audio visuals and special effects. Do we need that kind of audio visual and special effect or not? So later we are going to discuss on decoration and props. So basically for decoration and props, it helps a lot for the event. Okay, and number 8, catering, yum yum, food. So of course, everyone loves food, so catering also important. And then number 9, performers. Number 10, the crew, the production crew. So the crew behind the stage, sorry, backstage, behind the stage. And then we have hospitality, the production schedule, and also recording the event contingencies. Okay, so let's take a look on the first one, theme and event design. So the major artistic and creative decision to be made when staging an event. So once the theme is established, the elements of the event must be designed to fit with the theme, decoration, stage, lighting, audio, special effects, and so on. For example, if you are about to have a theme of enchanted forest, so everything related to enchanted forest must be put or must be designed into your event. For example, enchanted forest is about a mossy forest, and then it's kind of like having an enchanted lighting like that. So um, everything related everything related to enchanted forest, for example, the food, the decoration, the flower decoration or flower arrangement at the table, so lighting and everything must be fit into enchanted forest. Okay, so example here, creating anticipation by asking participants to dress in a theme related concept. Another example is when you are going to have a traditional wedding. Okay, traditional wedding, meaning you ask the participant to wear a traditional dress, baju kurung, baju Melayu, or baju pahlawan zaman dulu-dulu. Okay, it is very interesting to have the participants or the guests to dress according to the theme. Okay, next, the use of the colors, gray, black, white for formal event, bright colors for celebration and also festival. If you are about to have a color, a pink color, so everyone, including men, they need to wear pink in order to come to your event. Okay, so all right, so next, programming. So the flow of the performers, speakers, catering, and other elements of the event over time. So we need to know, okay, from the beginning of the program of the event. So in the morning, what is our event, or what is the detail of our event? Okay, and then at the noon, so what is our event? And then evening or night, or first day, what are the list of our events? Second day, what are the list of our events? So that's why we need to have the program, the flow of the event, and then schedule what's on the event. So schedule is always important to have, because we need to make sure the smoothness of our event. Okay, and then the event experience for the attendee and sponsors rests on the success of the program. So we need to always check whether the program is suitable for our participant or spectators or not. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Okay, so next we are going to check on the choice of venue. So venue is very important because it comes with several factors. Okay, in terms of choosing the right venue, it's like choosing the right person to be your life partner. Example, okay. So what you need to consider is, the first one, you need to consider on the cost. Second, you need to consider on the practicality. So the venue is practical for your guests and for the spectators or not. Okay, and then number three, essential services. What are the facilities that the customer or the guest needed during during the time of the event? And number four, logistic. Do we have ample parking or not? So it is accessible or not? So everything you need to check. Right. So next, plan for site inspection. This is according to venue. You need to make a site inspection. First, you need to make a list and look at the mix of functional and psychological components. So you need to have a very long list. So you need to check on every little tiny things. And then number two, you need to check on the size of the venue, layout of the venue. It is one tier or one building, one story or two-story building, or is it a stadium, a huge stadium? Okay, and then accessibility, you need to check this place or the venue is accessible by accessible by public transportation or not. So is there an ample parking for that facilities or that venue or not? Okay, and then number three, make sure adequate size entrance and exit point. So this is very important to have adequate size entrance and exit point, because you don't know how big is your crowd. Okay, so maybe perhaps you are going to invite around 500 people, but it sometimes can be double of that amount. Maybe you have 1,000 people coming at one time. So you need to have a very good entrance and different entrance and different exit points. And then you need to have service elevator, even for normal people like me. So I am frequently using service elevator instead of using the stairs. Okay, and flooring to support equipment. So you have a good flooring or not? Okay, so next we are going to check on the audience and guests. So the position of entrance and exit. So this one, like I mentioned earlier, so we need to have a good and separate entrance and exit. So from the look of the guest point of view, so you need to check whether it's only one way that people can go and back from different point, or do you have any, what we call that, a U-turn or any shortcut for your entrance or exit? Okay, and then you need to check for the arrival times and seating and sidelines. So as for seating, it is very important, as you need to check either the guest are going to have a certain or special seating arrangement or not. Okay, and then as for facilities, you need to check maybe several facilities is restricted for audience and guests, or maybe the facilities is open for all. Okay, so you need to check everything regarding the venue and also for your audience. Okay, so next, the stage. So the term stage can be applied to the general staging area and not just to a purpose-built stage. So the stage itself, basically, it is a place that will pop up everything. So you are going to make it stand up. So you will say something that is very important. You will say a highlight of your event there. Okay, so all stages require a stage map called the stage plan, showing the infrastructure, for example, lighting fixture, entrance, exit, and also power outlet. Okay, perhaps normally people will have a featuring or perform a special performance at the stage, for example. Okay, so next, power, light, and sound. So power, what type of power that we are going to use, the amount. So if you are overuse the power, what will happen? So the equipments or the technical will trip. So if you are overuse the power, so it maybe become blackout and so on. Okay, so do you need a backup or emergency power? What is the position of the power? It is somewhere that is touchable or not. Okay, and then number of power outlets. Do you need lots of number? Sorry, do you need a number or a lots of power outlet or not? Okay, and then distance from the power outsource to devices, wiring, volt, amp, rating, safety, local state regulations. And then according to lights, will the lights fit into the theme or not? The ambience. Will you have a very sting light, or maybe you have a very dim light according to your event? Okay, so versus performance lighting. So during performance, do you need a very bright light or not? Okay, then back up, sorry, backup, light operator, etc. And according to sound, so the sound system and communication, according to sound system, so the sound system is a very smooth at ear of the guest or not. So is it something that is very lousy or something else? Everything that you need to check. Okay, and then what else? And then audio visual and special effects. So do we need the audio visual? Normally, in order for us to catch the attention of our guests, we need the audio visual. They need to see the visual and they need to see the video. And you need to have a kind of special effect. So of course, you can hire specialists, for example, audiovisual companies to supply a fully integrated system of film, video, slides, and also special effect. Have you ever have you ever been to any event? So wedding, for example. So during that event, before the emergence, the entrance of the bride and groom, so the team will play a slide or video, a short video of the bride and groom. Have you ever been seen that? Okay, if you have seen that, that is called as audio visual and also special effects. Okay, so all right, so we move on to the next slide. We have props and decoration. So as you can see here, down here, so it is basically always a bridesmaid, congrats, my wifey, and so on. So these are the props and decoration in a wedding. Okay, so as for props, it is a skilled use of these elements that can make the attendees feel although they are in an imaginary world. Okay, so I take a wedding as an example. Long time ago, about 10 to 15 years ago, when I attended the wedding. So it's just a simple wedding. So you come to that wedding just for eating, to eat, and then to watch the bride and groom, and then that's all. Okay, but now when you are attending the event or attending a wedding, so the first one you need to go through the entrance with aisle with lots of decoration, this blooming thing, and before you enter the hall or ballroom itself, you need to undergo this photo booth. Perasan tak kan? So you need to undergo this photo booth to take some pictures and then to have a Polaroid pictures like that. Then you can resume into the ballroom and then eating, give some salam-salam keruk, because salam keruk I think, salam kaut kan. So salam kaut and also give the presents or gift to the bride and groom and then you go back. Okay, it is totally different from long times ago wedding and nowadays. Okay, so that is one of the example. It also applicable the same as for events. Okay, so next, catering. Haha, the most favorite thing. Okay, so catering of food, the most purpose-built venues already have catering arrangement in place. Normally, if you have a ballroom, they will have come a package with catering, with caterer. Okay, so you need to only choose what kind of menu that you want. Okay, so the catering it can be in-house or contracted. It's up to the venue itself, or maybe if you want to use the in-house catering, it can be you can always get a cheaper price, or maybe you have your contracted or outside catering. It can be anything. Okay, so you need to always check for catering because food is something that is very important. Because if the guests are having food poisoning, if they are coming to an event, it will be a very huge problem. Okay, so next, performance. So there are several factors to consider when it comes to performance. The first one, you need to have a good contact. Okay, and then staging requirements. So the performer will need the overall or all staging um what we call it, all staging size or not, or maybe it's just some space for them. Okay, so do they need anything like standard microphone, or they need space for their band, or so on. Okay, so the availability of rehearsal, media attention, and performance. So they always need to have a rehearsal. So rehearsal is very, very important, especially for performance, in order for them to integrate with your event. Okay, so next, accompanying personnel, for example, do they have any PA, okay, personal assistant? So do they have something, or maybe they want to bring their family? So what you are going to accommodate according to this performer and also their family? Okay, and then contract and legal requirements. Contract and legal requirements are the things that are very, very important, because you must pay them according to the contract. And if they are breaching or they are not following the contract, what are the legal actions that you can take? And then payment, are you going to pay them accordingly, maybe 50%, 50%, or maybe 20%, the deposit, and the balance 80% is after they have been performed, like that. Okay, so you have to always have a very transparent contract with the performer. Okay, and then next one, the crew. So the crew, the backstage or behind the scene crew. Staging tends to be handled by a professional. Of course, it is not easy when it comes to staging, especially a live event. These crews can provide valuable input into the creation and design of the event. So of course, these are the people that will always work hard in order to make everything is going smoothly. Okay, we call it as smooth sailing. Okay, and they need to be the people that mostly train in information technology, right? So next, hospitality. Hospitality doesn't mean hospital. Okay, so hospitality, a major part of package offered to sponsors, meaning what you are going to provide to your sponsors and what are the things that you need to check whether your maybe the people that sponsors your event, they need something extra or not. For example, a VIP pass, all access pass or not regarding your event. Okay, so there are so many things that you need to check. So what sponsors expect the event management provide for them and their guests. For example, the VIPs including politicians, media units, media personalities, potential sponsors, partners, and so on. Okay, so you need to have a courtesy to ask to give, sorry, to offer some hospitality to your sponsors, because they have sponsored your event. So you need to give something else as showing a full of respect and hospitality, right? So next, the production schedule. So basically, this is a master document for staging, meaning you need to have a very proper schedule. A meeting at performance site among stage manager and event producer, lighting, sound, audiovisual specialist, representative for performance, and so on. Okay, so this is the schedule, the master schedule that you need to have every meeting, everything, every appointments you need to have. Okay, you need to check whether you have been done this kind of rehearsal. You need to check whether you have arranged for the meeting with these people or not. Okay, so next, contingencies. Contingencies meaning, are you going to have a backup plan or not? Okay, so make allowances for what might go wrong. We don't really want everything or anything that might go wrong, but we need to always prepare a backup plan. Okay, meaning what if sessions need to be implemented with the staff? For example, what if the electrical blackout happen? What happened if the performers not arrive? What happened if the VIP is late? So everything you need to have some contingencies. Okay, so you need to prepare a backup plan, and if you have a plan A, you need to check, okay, what is our next plan? What is plan B? What is plan C? So if we have some problems, we have this kind of problems, what are the solutions that we need to offer? Okay, so that are the things that you need to check. So sorry if I am too fast. Okay, so it does not only test synchronization, but it also gives confidence to event crews and performance. Okay, for example, some people, it may be their first time handling the event. So it is the time for you to check whether it is okay or not. So whether they are going to check this is going to be the best event or not. Okay, so they will have that kind of anticipation, okay, before they are planning or before they are basically running the event. And you need to have a various type of rehearsal. So if rehearsal A happen or some problems in rehearsal A happen, so what are the solutions? If we are going to conduct a rehearsal B, so some problems happen, so what are the things that we need to resolve? Okay, so especially for the rehearsal, technical rehearsal, you need to have a sound check, you need to have a lighting check, you need to check on the special effects and so on. And for dress rehearsal, you need to put on costumes and dress equipments, whether it is okay or not. So if you also remember, for AGL Undergraduate Lagu, so it is the time when I can't remember 1994 or 1998 like that. So when Ramlah Ram wear this one baju with a heart shape at her dress. So during the dress rehearsal, it is okay. Okay, but during the live session or the live event, so the heart shape um, does not light up. So it is basically something that is not good, but they managed to cover it. Okay, so normally they will have several rehearsal and a full dress rehearsal. That is the word that I see. Okay, and then walk through, examine the preparedness of arrival and departure setup. So everything you need to have a rehearsal so that everything is okay or not. All right. So lastly, rehearsal. So this is what I meant. Okay, so critical importance to test the features needed to stage the event and make any necessary connections or amendment. So you need to have incorporate performance, technical, lighting, sound, and other elements in the event. So you need to check everything. Actually, you need to check on every little tiny things and also the huge part of your event. So you need to check everything. You need to check on the features of the program. For example, check on the arrival and departure sequence for participants. You need to check on the VIPs. You need to check on the performers. Okay, so these are the things that you need to check, and check time schedule to see if it can run as planned or not. Okay, so we know that everything we can only plan, but Allah will what we call that, kita hanya mampu merancang, for example. I forgot the word in English. So kita hanya mampu merancang, Allah yang menentukan. Okay, but whatever it is, above all, you need to always have a schedule, and you need to make sure everything can run properly according to schedule. Okay, so I think that's all for today's chapter. So it's a bit fast, right? So don't worry, next time for next chapter, I will talk a bit slow, right? So thank you very much for having me. So if you guys have any questions regarding this subject or this chapter, do not hesitate to contact me personally, right? Till see you again. So bye-bye, guys.